We promised everybody that we would start promptly. So first and foremost, good evening. Thank you. I am so absolutely grateful for all of you being here tonight. This room is filled with Live Baltimore's biggest supporters, and we would literally not be here this evening were it not for each and every one of you. I want to thank so many special folks who are here, but I want to thank Mayor Scott for being here. I want to thank Commissioner Kennedy for being here. I want to thank Senate President Ferguson for being here. I want to thank Senator Hayes for being here. It is dark. I cannot see everyone who is here. You are all just darkness to me. But I see, Delegate Edelson, who's back there. Thank you so much to everybody for being here and for your support. We have gathered you all tonight to introduce you to our new ad campaign, which has been more than 2 years in the making. And believe it or not, we checked our records, and the last time that we launched a major new ad campaign was in 2015. So I think that it is about time. And thank you for everybody who's still coming in. There are plenty of seats. Thank you, Councilman Torrance. I can make you out in the crowd. All right. Councilwoman Ramos, welcome. Yes, Councilwoman Ramos, we are in her district, and she is a former Live Baltimore board member, so thank you so much. So as I said, this is our first major new campaign launch since 2015. So it is about time that we come out with something new and something big, and we are doing that tonight. If my clicker will work. So this new campaign started with significant market research. I said we've been working on this for 2 years, and a lot of that time was spent on research. And that research included 2 waves of surveys that have reached over 40,000 Baltimore City homebuyers, as well as a series of focus groups that tested messages with Black housing consumers living in the DMV. From our research, we know that there are 5 key message territories that resonate with prospective Baltimore City residents, especially prospective Black residents. Number 1, as we all know, our city's affordability can't be beat. Prospective residents told us that we should tell them about value. Number 2, our city's convenience to local jobs and to DC, as well as our neighborhood's walkability, are all major selling points. Prospective residents told us to highlight these features heavily. Number 3, our city's unique waterfront, architecture, and cultural amenities are world-class, we all know it. Prospective residents told us to show them iconic Baltimore imagery. And lastly, prospective residents want to be part of close-knit communities where they feel comfortable and where their identities can truly shine. They want us to prove this to them in our ads. These 5 elements, affordability, convenience, uniqueness, community, and identity, were the backbone of the creative brief that led to our new campaign. To help us develop this work, we issued a national RFP for a new creative agency. And in the end, the clear winner was a local firm called HZ, who I know is represented by Ron Thompson here tonight. And the campaign that they delivered, which you are about to see, exceeded all of our wildest expectations. And here is the basis for all of it.
It's a vibe. We've all heard the expression. It describes something so unique and so special that it can't be put into words. A vibe is an atmosphere all its own and an energy that can't be defined. Baltimore is a vibe. With 279 neighborhoods, each with their own colors, businesses, affordable residences, and career opportunities, we are a city of charm and a true chance to thrive. Where the apartment or home of your dreams can stop being for someday and become a reality right now. Where culture is shaped by our iconic heritage and a new generation of creativity, commerce, and change. Where advancing your position and getting ahead is actually within your reach. Where, by being a part of it, Whether moving to or within, you can start each day with an invitation to vibe and shine.
Vibe and shine, yes. So I want to thank our board member and lifelong Baltimorean, Anthony Waters, for serving as the voiceover talent for that piece. And so you have all now been invited to Vibe and Shine. Are you ready to see what this campaign looks like? Our residents deserve to tell the story of their city. And in this campaign, they will. Each campaign execution features Baltimore City residents. This is Wendy from Union Square. And the main campaign element, which we call the crown. The crown will encircle the stars of our campaign in every medium. All of the beautiful photography in this campaign was done by Felicia Gee, a MICA graduate who has served as Live Baltimore's photographer for the past 10 years, yes, and who last year received both her minority and women-owned business certification from the city. This is an example of a campaign execution with an affordability focus. It reads, with home ownership and affordable rents within reach across 279 unique neighborhoods, Baltimore is a city that prizes experience over expense. And yes, we do. We plan to include outdoor transit station executions, just like this one, in and around Baltimore, and most importantly, in Southeast Washington, D.C. That's right. Come on over, the water's fine. This is an example of a community-focused execution for social media, which says, a deeper connection to your community and the people that give it life. It's just how we thrive. Plan a Baltimore move today. All social media channels will, of course, be used for this campaign, and they will all be targeted with the geographic focus of the Baltimore metro region and, again, our friends in Washington, D.C. This is a digital execution focused on the city's uniqueness, and this one says, finding your place here is easy because it's a place defined by you. Digital ads will run across Google's local ad network on the websites that our target audiences frequent most. But most importantly, this campaign will launch today with a series of testimonial videos. These videos were shot by Dave Cooper Films, who we intentionally selected based on his work with our partner organization, Baltimore College Town Network. And thank you to Tony St. John, our board member and executive director of Baltimore College Town Network, for being with us tonight. To select residents for these videos, we did an open casting call for talent. You might have seen it on social media. And over 100 people from every single corner of the city applied to be selected. We had the very difficult task of narrowing it down to 20 residents who we did in-depth interviews with. And ultimately, 5 residents were selected. And we are going to watch every single one of their stories right now. First up, this Baltimore County resident, former. This beautiful lady is a former Baltimore County resident who heads marketing at MICA and helped found BYP, a networking group for Black professionals in the city.
My name is Sabrina, and Baltimore is an artistic city. I made the transition from moving from Baltimore County to Baltimore City to be closer to work. I work at the Maryland Institute College of Art. It really serves as an anchor institution for artists, for designers, for people that are looking for ways to bring their ideas to life through art and fine arts and visual design. And there's some really cool nooks and crannies and areas of the neighborhood where I can just retreat to and find peace that I think is really beautiful about the neighborhood that I live in. There is an organization that I'm a part of called Baltimore Young Professionals to really help people who are new to the city, to give them an idea and insight of what is happening in the city. Baltimore, you'll find your people here, you'll find a community here. I say that if you're thinking about it, you should definitely consider moving to Baltimore. You should just do it.
Yes. Thank you for giving it up for Sabrina and for telling her beautiful story. All right, next up, these former Hyattsville residents can't get enough of their wild neighbors.
We are the Wolves.
And Baltimore is our home.
We actually lived in Hyattsville, Maryland. We knew it was kind of time for a change, time for a move.
But as we started having conversations, talked with friends that lived in the city, started visiting, it really kind of opened our eyes to a lot of the cool spots and neighborhoods.
Hey, there's so many amenities that our family enjoys living here in Reservoir Hill. I have to mention German Park, just a couple blocks down. It's right near the St. Francis Center that does just amazing work.
One of our good friends that was instrumental in us moving here for our housewarming present gave us an annual pass to the zoo.
Yeah, we've had great times there with the kids. We've gone a couple times with them, and then we've been able to kind of enjoy it together as well as a couple. So we love the zoo. Yeah. In addition to that, we have Druid Hill Park, which we absolutely love as a family.
There is something for everyone here. I mean, all over the city, there's a neighborhood that you're going to fall in love with.
Yes, thank you to the Wolk family. Okay. Next, we have an influential Baltimorean who is creating an equitech ecosystem while raising 3 boys in the city.
My name is Corey, and Baltimore is unlike any city in America. I am the Chief Ecosystem and Relationship Officer for Upsurge Baltimore. We are laser focused on building Baltimore into a thriving tech community. It's important to build a network of founders, investors, tech talent, people who really care and can contribute to growing our tech ecosystem. My dad asked me, what's Baltimore like? It's a community that everyone belongs, no matter what neighborhood, zip code, or background you're from. I think there's no better place in America to raise kids and to show them what it means to be a member of a community. You know, I'm really excited for them to sort of come into their own and go from boys to young men while they're here in Baltimore. For anyone considering Baltimore for a move, I would just say come here and experience it for yourself. And you'll know within 24 hours that this is a special place and it might be a special place for you.
Well, we know it's going to be a special place for a lot of people after they see this campaign, for sure. Okay, next, this mom of 2 cannot believe that she can afford her lifestyle within the DMV.
My name is Janine, and Baltimore is my heart, it's my soul. I love this place. I mean, to find a place in this area, in the DMV, that you can still afford, it's like living in a city, but feeling like you live in a small town. I have everything right here. I don't even own a car. I love Broadway Market. There's a restaurant there that has the best catfish I have ever eaten in my entire life. It's nice to walk by the water and like see everybody out. It's nice to see that side of Baltimore. I'm a woman, I'm Black, I'm queer. My boys are young Black men. It was important for them to live in a diverse neighborhood. So we get to like walk down the street, walk through the park, we walk past like the duck pond. Baltimore has enriched my life and the life of my family in so many ways.
We love you, Janine. You know, I didn't mention that every single one of the stars of these videos is here in the audience tonight, and we are so grateful to them for sharing their stories and for being a part of this. This next, we're almost through them. Okay. This next story, this former DC resident, that's right, former DC resident, found love in more ways than one in our charming city.
My name is Chelsea, and Baltimore is my home. I came to Baltimore looking for a slice of culture that was very conveniently located to DC, where I still had a foothold career-wise. Moving here brought me a community, Charles Village, that I adore. It also brought me the love of my life, my husband, Derek. This is such a livable city and, welcoming. And I just scoot on down to the train station and hop on a MARC train. Baltimore has all the infrastructure that any other major American city on the East Coast or elsewhere has. The parks, the museums, all the cute neighborhoods, shopping, dining, drinking, all of that. I think it's not as crowded, it's more affordable. Walkability is huge. If you want the best of an American city, Baltimore offers it. It has all the great things a city should have, and it has it in spades.
Yes, it has them all in spades, and we all know that. Now, if you all were counting, you probably are thinking to yourself, well, I said that we filmed 5 residents, but we actually, in the end, ended up adding one more. Last but certainly not least, this lifelong Baltimorean just purchased his very first home in the city.
I'm Brandon, and Baltimore has always been my home, and I just bought this house. I've wanted to own a home since I was a little kid, and I always wanted to own that home in Baltimore. Owning a home means something that will be a part of a legacy that helps you accumulate wealth. Something that I can own for myself and my family will have. Somewhere where I will always have the memories of building a community with my neighbors. I wanted to be here in Northeast Baltimore. This is an area that I've lived in for now 14 years. The place that has the best crab cakes in the world and Coco's. We have Lake Montebello, we have Burdick Park, we have Hearn Run Park. I think everybody in Baltimore should have the opportunity to purchase a home so that they can own a part of their city. Buy in Baltimore, because Baltimore is the greatest city in America. And we, the people of Baltimore, are what makes Baltimore Charm City. When we buy these houses, we are how our city becomes the best version of itself.
So a huge thanks to Mayor Scott for sharing his personal story. And yes, that was really his closing. We did not make that up. We got to be a part of that very special moment. And the mayor will be joining us in just a minute to be making a special announcement, so please stick around for that. In addition to the long-form videos that we just saw, that will be running on YouTube and promoted on social media, as well as featured on our website, there are also shorter cuts of all of these videos. Yes, we know that our attention spans are all getting shorter, so there are shorter versions of all of these videos, and here's a sample of just one.
My name is Corey, and Baltimore is unlike any city in America. It's a community that everyone belongs, no matter what background you're from. And you'll know within 24 hours, it might be a special place for you.
All right, look for them in your stories and share, okay? Well, this new campaign will drive traffic to livebaltimore.com, where visitors will be prompted to create user profiles and to start planning their moves right away. Depending on the market, however, some digital ads will drive viewers to a brand new feature on our website that compares Baltimore City's cost of living with cities all across the country. We can use this feature to target more expensive East Coast cities, I'm looking at you, DC, as well as West Coast technology hubs like San Francisco. Thanks to the contributions of everyone here, this campaign will be supported by the largest annual media budget that Live Baltimore has ever had. And we are so grateful. We will be promoting this campaign with nearly $300,000 this year. And while we know that that's still far less than the $500,000 that we know we need to reach every mover in the region, we will not take a penny for granted. Truly, thank you to all of you for helping to make this happen. It's twice what we've ever had before. So now that you've seen it, we cannot wait to show the world this work. But before we do, as promised, please help me welcome to the stage Mayor Brandon Scott for a very special announcement. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie, and thank you to the entire Live Baltimore team. As you can see, I am so excited for this campaign, and not just because of the great videos you saw, but also, as everyone knows, I'm competitive because I want to eat my good friend Mayor Bowser's lunch by stealing her residence from her. And yes, we will do that. I told Annie I only had one critique of the whole thing. At the end of the videos or on the post, we have to say we sell Mambo sauce too, and then they all come easily. This campaign, as you see, allows Baltimoreans to tell the story of our city themselves. It embodies that pride that all of us have in Charm City and shows our prospective residents, soon-to-be residents, what Baltimore has always been for all of us. A city full of opportunity where people can be themselves and thrive. The videos you saw represent the best of what we as a city has to offer, depicting a city that is affordable, convenient, unique, community-focused, with the best seafood in the world, and which honors the identities of its residents. Without our residents who breathe life into our city, we just become a shell of ourselves. Our residents create and sustain neighborhood-based jobs, weave together the rich cultural fabric of our communities, and they make all of this possible. I am so grateful to Live Baltimore for leading these efforts to recruit and retain our residents so that Baltimore can continuously grow into the best version of itself. And I'm so grateful to many of you in the audience who've been incredible partners in this work to make Baltimore a place where people not only want to live, but can afford to live and build their lives here. Shout out to our Senate President who is here. Sorry, Mr. Senator, that I didn't move into the 46. Got to give a shout out to Senator Hayes, who sent me about 100 listings from advertisers in Ashburn. I'm sorry that I did not use the realtor of Senator Antonio Hayes Sr. and decided to remain in Northeast Baltimore. Delegate Edelson, Councilwoman Ramos, and Councilman James Torrance, who's the other side of that realty company that tried to get me to come to Ashburton, but also Commissioner Kennedy. I know Director Ryer is here, Colin Talbert is here, Shalonda Stokes is here, Bob Pippick is here. Everyone who works consistently together to show people what we already know. That Baltimore is truly Charm City and truly is the greatest city in America. Owning a home is one of the biggest steps forward towards stability that an individual or a family can take. And everyone in Baltimore not only wants but deserves to have great neighbors. And with this campaign, we know lots of families are eager to take that next step, and there will be a lot more great neighbors for us to enjoy company with in the future. And speaking of great neighbors, I wanted to take this opportunity tonight to highlight an initiative that Live Baltimore, city agencies, and other partners have been hard at work on over the next few years. And this is where we're going to start clicking. Middle neighborhoods. A lot of you have heard the term middle neighborhoods, and as many of you know, they've been central to my administration's housing strategy since we took office on December the 8th of 2020. For those who may not be as familiar, middle neighborhoods are stable and diverse communities that are neither exceedingly affluent nor distressed, and they play a crucial role in maintaining urban stability and community well-being. Middle neighborhoods are the backbone of our city, and we must do everything we can to keep them healthy. According to the 2023 housing typology, Baltimore has 156 middle neighborhoods, maintaining the stability of the legacy of Baltimore residents in these communities while attracting more middle income and immigrant families, especially Black middle income families, is vital for the city as a whole to deliver on my promise and our pillar of equitable neighborhood development. And as a part of our announcement of over $100 million in ARPA investment into housing, $9.7 million of that was directly focused on our middle neighborhood strategy. To help implement this strategy, we have one, wealth building home repair grants for our legacy residents, $4 million, offering $30,000, up to $30,000 for home repairs to legacy homeowners who've lived in their homes for 15 years, and up to $10,000 for exterior improvements to their homes. Two, the Inspired Development Initiatives, targeted development incentives aimed at creating home ownership opportunities for families with school-aged children that are near one of our 28, soon to be 29, new 21st century schools. Thank you, Mr. Senate President. Thank you, Mr. Senator. And three, the one that I was the most excited about, the Buy Back the Block down payment assistance, $3.4 million facilitated by the team at Live Baltimore. This initiative supports tenants purchasing homes in their own neighborhoods, allowing folks who are renting, paying much more in rent than they would in the mortgage in many cases, to be able to stay and own a home in those neighborhoods. And lastly, community organizing support we provided through Healthy Neighborhoods, Inc. This initiative assist neighborhood-based organizations in targeted areas to promote the availability of city resources to our residents, going to the people who we know can benefit from this and directly informing them of what's able out there for them. This work targets 26 of our middle neighborhoods and 5 carefully chosen focus areas where vacancy rates are low, home ownership rates are above 50%, and over 80% of the neighborhood is made up of Black residents. So you can see, Mr. Senator, the Liberty Road corridor. You can see Bel Air Road and Harford Road, Emerson Village, areas that we know historically have been some of our strongest middle neighborhoods in Baltimore. Now, there's another announcement that we're going to be making tonight. This is a drum roll one here. We know the home that you just watched me purchase on the screen behind me is in a nice middle neighborhood known as Hamilton, and I want to build on our already established strategy. So we are taking steps to encourage more city employees like me to do the same. That's why tonight we are announcing an incentive enhancement for our city employees. We know right now the city employee home ownership program is limited each year in number. But tonight I am proud to announce the program will be unlimited through September 2024, meaning any city employee who wants to purchase a home will be able for a $5,000 incentive towards down payment and closing costs. There are some restrictions. Even I had to go through that, so no one gets a pass. No one gets a pass. And homes purchased in city employees in 205 of our most affordable neighborhoods, including our middle neighborhoods, will receive a double incentive of $10,000. And there's another slide. You can click again. And this map, you can see what the map looks like, and all of those neighborhoods that are lit up in those dark green are eligible for the $10,000 incentive. So it's exactly where we want these folks to be. In the coming weeks and months, the team will be taking this message out to the field to make sure that everyone, especially our frontline workers, like those picking up trash and recycling for DPW, filling potholes for DOT, working with our kids very hard in school at rec centers, knows what's available for them and how to take advantage of this enhanced program. We actually already have an employee in the pipeline who will be taking advantage of this expansion right away. Sierra, a city schools employee, is looking ahead to closing in her new home, Senator Hayes, in Ashburton on next week. And DHCD has already gone ahead and processed her for the newly enhanced incentive. She's not the only one signing up for our middle neighborhood strategy, though. The first Buy Back the Block recipient closed last week, with many, many more to come. We strive to make our commitment to investing in our communities and strengthening our city's workforce very clear. We've invested so much ARPA funding in projects like these because we know that the time to make a significant difference is now. We know this works, and it will not only help revitalize neighborhoods that have not received the attention they deserve for far too long, but these strategies will be an economic driver for us in the long run. City government is one of the biggest employers in Baltimore, providing good jobs to Baltimoreans who want to serve their neighborhoods and their communities. We have the ability, but also, and more importantly, the responsibility to help strengthen communities and support working families across our great city. This expansion of the Baltimore City Employee Home Ownership Program and the entire middle neighborhood strategy is not just about buying a home. It's not just about stealing Mambo sauce, loving people from D.C. It's about building communities, wealth legacy, and the future of this great city known as Baltimore. I know I can count on everyone here to help us achieve that. Thank you again, Annie, and the entire Live Baltimore team, and all of us here. Now let's go out and let's get people to sign up so that we can get them buying homes and show the rest of the country what a truly diverse and focused city can do about creating and supporting middle-class income neighborhoods. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, those were some pretty great announcements, right? We're so excited that we were able to have the mayor's office come here tonight and to share all of that great news with you. We know that these new investments in neighborhoods will make a tremendous difference, and I can say that from the entire team at Live Baltimore, we cannot wait to help hundreds of families achieve their dreams with all of the funds that were just mentioned. Thank you all so much for being here tonight to witness the unveiling of our new campaign.